warnings do carry over. The member for Fairfax.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I'm delighted that the member for Fenner has finally read the Forgotten People's speech, and I'm sure he is recommending it to his colleagues, for at the end of the day what Robert Menzies stood for, what he fought for, what the Liberal Party continues to fight for with its coalition colleagues in the National Party, the former Country Party, is to ensure that small business is looked after, to ensure that the small people in Australia are looked after. And yet the Labor Party, who purport to represent the worker, goes against its very principles. The Labor Party are in the game of taxing anything that they can get their hands on. The Labor Party wish to tax the everyday household with higher electricity prices, evidenced by their 50% come 100% target with renewables. Labor are happy to tax the household. Labor is happy to tax the unemployed by denying them opportunities for work, by ensuring that major international investments such as the Adani project are thwarted, by default taxing the unemployed, denying them from opportunities for work. The Galilee Basin alone offering 15,000 jobs, and yet the Labor Party aren't interested in that because they're happy to tax the unemployed. They're more than happy to tax the mum and dad investor with a negative gearing plan that ensures that you cannot offset against personal income. More than happy to have the wealthy on investments, but not mum and dad investors. So the Labor Party are also happy to tax mum and dad investors. But then, of course, let's get to small businesses. The Labor Party have made it very clear that they will change the existing legislation to hike taxes up for small businesses. So any business out there which has a threshold beneath $50 million a year in turnover, the Labor Party has already guaranteed they will increase company tax rates. By opposing and continuing to prosecute the case against the Coalition's enterprise tax plan, the Labor Party are guaranteeing they will increase taxes for small and medium businesses. Now, these are 3.2 million businesses across the country, 3.2, employing 6.5 million Australians. And what the Labor Party is saying, their priority with tax is to ensure they're paying more. And we know what happens with small businesses. When they have to pay more tax, there's less opportunity for them to create more jobs. This is what the Labor Party represents today. They are more than happy to tax people's take-home pay, and they are more than happy to oppose multinationals paying more tax. I mean, here we have a situation in this very term of government where the Labor Party has opposed a major instrument from the government to ensure multinationals cannot avoid tax. Already in this financial year, we are going to see $2 billion of tax clawed back to the Commonwealth Government. Now, that is tax that otherwise would have been avoided by multinationals. So the Labor Party, who purport to represent the worker, are more than happy to stand there with all their rhetoric, but push comes to shove, they stand for multinationals above small businesses. How does that make sense? Yet instead what we have from the Turnbull Coalition government is a government that's prepared to ensure an extension of the $20,000 instant asset write-off, a government that's prepared to reduce company tax, a company that's prepared to ensure we're more competitive in the international economy so that we can attract capital. Attracting capital creates jobs, and that's what this government does. The opposition stands for nothing but taxing everything in sight and looking after the union movement, looking after the multinationals and leaving behind the people that Menzies and the Coalition stand for, which is a forgotten people. And I'm delighted again that those opposite are starting to read his speech.
The member for